A lot of times we Africans, we take religion to such an extreme level that it becomes a major problem in our societies. Our politicians are aware of how gullible we are when it comes to religious matters, and they are beginning to take advantage of how some of us are. A lot of times this manifests in nothing but a negative way, okay? And this only shows how unscrupulous, how corrupt our politicians can be. And it also shows ways that we can improve our mindsets so that we can have a progressive future. Now let's talk about this in this video. What up, African family? Welcome to the African Wahala, where we have conversations that relate to the progression of Africans around the world and the continent of Africa. At the same time, we commend trailblazers and we criticize individuals or government bodies or organizations that hold us back. If you like the content on this channel, click on the like and subscribe buttons. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to be using Nigeria as a case study because I strongly believe that Nigeria, being one of the most diverse African countries on the continent, the problems and the potential solutions that arise from the country can easily be transferable to most other African countries. Not only that, but also because I am a Nigerian and I am quite aware of the situation going on in the country. I also want to make it clear that a terrorist organization like Boko Haram that began from a religious point of view, having people think they were fighting for Islam, it ended up being an economical struggle because the people that are recruited into the organization are usually people that have nothing else to do in the society and they have no access to resources or money. Now, we're going to be looking at Nigeria structurally, how the country is built in terms of its religious proportions, cultural and ethnic divisions. Now, when it comes to religion, Nigeria is divided almost a 50-50 split of 50% northern Islamic population and 50% southern Christian population. There are other minor traditional religions being practiced here and there across the country, but it's mostly Christianity and Islam, south and north, respectively. In the north, where Islam is predominant, they have this system called Almajiri schooling system. It's a system of Islamic education where children mostly from poor and rural backgrounds are taken to Almajiri schools. The schools are called Sangayu, where they are taught about Islam by teachers called Malamais. The Malamais do not get paid or receive salaries, but they depend on the alms received from the community and the work from their Almajiri students. Okay, so the entire system of Almajiri is based on community support for the teachings of Islamic studies and Islamic ways of life, so that people would learn how to be noble, how to have all the characteristics of noble Islamic figures, and just so they can have a peaceful society. So if you think about the intentions of this system, it's not a bad one. If you think about it, let's be logical about it. It's not a bad system. It shouldn't have been a bad system. But the disadvantage about this system is that the system produces millions of young boys and adults that have zero formal education and they have zero vocational skills. That is the main disadvantage of this system. This system is backed by religion, and religion is one of the things that people don't want to hear anything about. People are usually closed-minded when it comes to religious issues, and religious issues is one of the main problems we have on the continent of Africa. Let's go back to the implications of this Almajiri system on the society.
When they grow up without going to school, they feel like following whoever recites a verse to them. So once you recite a verse, the meaning of which they do not know, but they memorize it, they say, oh, this is from the Quran, really. Allah says we should go and kill people, we should go and fight, we should go and do this. So they become easy recruits into Boko Haram and evil groups.
Since Northerners are producing millions and millions of Almajiri educated youths, we now have millions of youths that have zero formal education and they have zero vocational skills. Also, they don't even know what their rights and responsibilities are as citizens of the country. So with all of that being said, we have a ton of people that have no idea how to get a job. They have no idea how to solve problems in the society, and they are unemployable. Let's look at some numbers real quick. According to UNICEF, which by the way, I don't really trust a lot of these global bodies like UNICEF, United Nations, WHO, Red Cross, a lot of them. I only take the information they provide with a grain of salt. So UNICEF came out with a number recently in 2018 stating that Nigeria has 13.5 million kids out of school, and most of them originate from the northern region of the country. So if you connect the dots in this situation, you can easily tell that a lot of these Almajiris are the ones that they are referring to as out of school kids. Now, the Almajiri kids at the same time, okay, it's become a way of their life to beg for alms. Okay, they are always begging for food, begging for scraps from rich people, and the rich people in return, okay, not even the rich people, the average people in the societies, in return, they feel obligated to give alms, give money to the beggars, the Almajiri kids, because if they give alms and stuff like that to the kids, they are being paid back divinely. So many people in Hausa land give what they call sadaka to the Almajiris, and they expect divine protection in return. And if you think about this is exactly what fuels the situation. So the Almajiris are out there begging for alms and for provisions from the people, and the people are giving the Almajiris alms, and what they expect in return is divine protection from the Most High. So it's a system that actually goes round and round and keeps on circulating. It keeps on functioning. The only disadvantage of the system is it's a time bomb waiting to explode, which has already exploded, by the way, because as at 1999, when the Boko Haram situation started off, there were few members, but right now it almost seems like the members are never ending. There is a constant supply of people ready to join bandits, armed groups, terrorists, because they are not educated, they don't have anything to contribute to the society, and it's mostly not their fault. It's as a result of their situation, their environment, the religious situations surrounding their environment, and the political scene surrounding them. Now, let's look at some other numbers. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency recently came out and stated that the highest number of arrests in the entire country was from the northwest region, okay, where they arrested about 3,000 people based on drug abuse. You know, we have a lot of youths in the northern part of Nigeria that drink codeine. I'm not even supposed to be mentioning these drugs in this channel because I'm not trying to promote the use of drugs in any way, shape, or form, but that's just what it is. Okay, we have a lot of youths that are just sitting idle out there. They have no vocational skills, they have nothing to contribute to the society due to the fact that the religious beliefs backed by the political system up north is supporting this entire situation. And I'll give you guys a quick clue. This is one of the reasons why the former emir of Kano, Lamido Sanusi, was impeached from that position, because he spoke against this situation concerning the Almajiri institutions, and a lot of the northern elites were against him and they kicked him out of that emir position. Now, what is the obvious solution to this entire menace going on? First and foremost, we need education, and this is not only in northern Nigeria where this is needed. Education is needed across the continent of Africa. If you're talking about education, I mean formal education that you get within the four walls of the school, secondary school, universities, colleges and stuff. We need vocational training. These things have to be compulsory up until you're 21 years old. You're supposed to be going to some kind of school. If you're not going to a formal school, you should be going to a vocational school. So we need formal education and vocational training. In addition to those two, you also need to know your rights and responsibilities as a citizen of that country. Otherwise, you're just coexisting with different kinds of people without knowing what you're doing, without knowing your rights and their rights. And that's why you find a lot of these uneducated touts, okay, in different parts of the country, harming and attacking people for practicing other religions that they don't agree with, simply because they don't know the rights and responsibilities of these people. And this is why we have so many problems on the continent of Africa. This is one of the reasons why we have 1,000,001 people that have absolutely no clue what is going on. All they know about is how to be violent and how to cause chaos and destroy the country. Now, the second and most important solution to this problem, and the reason why I say it's the most important solution, I'm going to get into it soon. The second and most important solution to this problem is our leaders, our political leaders. We need to start electing or selecting individuals into political positions that can be held accountable. This is the most important reason why we find ourselves in this position. You know, a lot of times we like pointing fingers towards our leaders. We claim our leaders are the reason why we are where we are. Our leaders keep making bad decisions. They keep selling us out to Europeans and Asians. I mean, all of that is true, okay? But also, our leaders trick our people. They capitalize on the gullibility of our citizens for their political ambitions. Point blank, period. Because I don't understand why any leader would be opposing the formal education of the Almajiris. Why would you do that? The only reason why a political leader would do that is because he doesn't want those Almajiris to be educated so that they have no clue what is going on and so that they can continue being used as political tools for them, which only benefits the politicians and their family members. Okay, and it's a total disadvantage for the entire society as a whole. If we keep on electing people or selecting people that are not accountable into these positions, then we don't have any questions to ask them. They can do whatever they want to do with impunity once they are in those political positions, and there is nothing we can do about it. That's why we need to start putting people in those positions that we can ask questions. People that are ready to answer to those questions, and if they are not ready to answer to those questions, we need to get them out of those positions, period. We cannot continue living our lives this way, being at the bottom of the food chain as Africans. Otherwise, we stand a risk of passing this problem to the next generation, and if they don't solve that problem, they will pass it to the next generation. So we are looking at a situation where we stand a risk of being at the bottom of the food chain forever if we do nothing about it. And that's why it's very important we spread this word. We make sure that we elect the right people in those positions, people that are at least willing to answer to our questions whenever we have inquiries to ask when it comes to what they have been doing since they got elected in those positions. Anyways, that's all I've got for now, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.